My name is Rob Cuesta of thegrowthpractice.com, and I specialize in helping business consultants, business coaches, and NLP practitioners working in the corporate and small business environment to grow life-changing, profitable practices that meet their financial and lifestyle needs at the same time, even in the toughest of economies. And I want to talk to you today about 5 ways to build your practice profitably. Now, the first of these is that you've got to stand for something. You've got to stand up and be known for something. The worst thing I see business coaches and business consultants do is that they walk into a meeting with a client and they say, I don't care what industry you're in, I don't care what the business problem is that you've got, I can help you fix it. Nobody believes that. It doesn't have credibility. The big consultancies get away with it because they've got thousands of people, and whatever somebody says, they can say, well, here are 50 people who've done this for other clients. But if you're on your own, or if you're in a group of 4 or 5 practitioners, you haven't got that level of resources that you can say that convincingly. So what you need to do is to pick a particular business problem that you're going to solve, or a particular group of businesses, a particular niche that you're going to solve it for. And ideally, you would do both. Now, if you can do that, then you've got the contrast between going to a jobbing handyman to get something repaired and going to a craftsman. Which one of those two gets paid more? It's always going to be the craftsman. And it's the same with your practice. If you can present yourself as a specialist in one particular area, you can raise your income massively. Next, you need to take control of your personal impact. How you come across, not only in person, which is enormously important, but also how you come across in terms of what people are telling others about you when they're describing who you are and what you do. So you've got to take control of that message. It's part of building your position, along with what you do and who you do it for. There is this whole idea of who you are and how you do what you do. So you've got to master this art of personal impact. And if you're an NLP practitioner, you're a lot of the way there because you've already got the communication skills and the ability to use them face to face. And if you aren't trained in NLP, then I really do suggest that you get that. But also, you've got to master the idea of why you do what you do. Why are you in business? What's the bigger picture? Where do you see yourself in 10 or 20 years' time? And what are your values? What actually motivates you to do the things that you do? Why did you pick the particular group of clients that you work with? I was working with a partner in one of the very big international accounting firms over in the States. And he said to me he didn't really know why he was in the industry that he was in. He worked with the aerospace and defense industry. And he started talking about what really motivated him was the idea of making a world where we were less dependent on fossil fuels, where people weren't in permanent conflict. And I pointed out that actually, although people think of aerospace and defense as this, particularly in the States, as this big military machine, most of the technological advances that have improved engine technologies have come out of aerospace and defense. A lot of the energy efficiency drives have come out of that industry. And of course, ultimately, the defense side is about creating peace. And armed with that and a little bit more self-reflection, he actually was able to create a very compelling message that he could then take out to potential clients about why he loved working with them. It re-energized his practice. So that's personal impact. Next, you need to master the art of influence. And I'm not talking here about win-win negotiation or chunking up and chunking down if you're into NLP. I'm talking about the scientific principles catalogued by social psychologists over the last and why people comply with instructions. And there are 6 of those principles. Obviously, this is a short video and we don't have time to go into all 6, but I'll give you one example. The idea of being an authority figure. There were some experiments done by a psychologist called Milgram in the 1950s, and he was able to get people to do the most horrendous things to each other simply by presenting himself as an authority figure. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go out and get people to electrocute each other the way that he did, But if you can establish your position as an authority in your field, then it becomes much easier to sell, and particularly as an advisor, it gets much easier to get clients to follow your advice. Now, how do we do that in our field? Well, some consultants and coaches do it by writing books. There's a lot of kudos that goes with being a published author. Others do it by writing reports and white papers, by blogging, by putting videos online. Others do it by standing up on a podium and presenting to a group of people. There is a great deal of respect that is given to the speaker who is up in front of the room, giving his ideas and being listened to. And that brings us to another of the principles, which is social proof. If people are listening to you, then the individuals in that group will think, well, this person must be worth listening to because everybody else is listening as well. So that's just two of the principles. The next thing you need to do to grow your business profitably is to break the link between time and money. As coaches and consultants, we are inherently in the business of trading our life for money from our clients. And we need to get out of that cycle. We need to be able to earn money when we're not there. And the way to do that is to create products. And ideally, we would have a way of doing that quickly and easily. Most of my products are created in under 24 hours. The more complex ones, the videos and things like that, will take a little bit longer in terms of editing them down from video. But once you can get into always thinking in terms of products, then you're starting to break that link between time equals money. And that's what will allow you to have the lifestyle that you want, because suddenly you don't have to be in front of a client to be earning money. And the final thing you need to do is to automate your business. I used to struggle for the first few years that I was a coach and a consultant in follow-up, because it was just me. And I would be constantly thinking, who do I need to respond to? I haven't been in touch with that person for so long. What do I need to send them next? Who do I need to send brochures to? Who do I need to send CDs to? And it became a mess, particularly as the practice started growing and I got busier and I had more inquiries coming in. I suddenly faced this constant draw on my time. And what I needed to do was to get smarter. And that meant, originally I thought, okay, well, I'll get an assistant, I'll get a virtual assistant who will take the pressure off. But really what you want to do is to create systems, ideally online systems, which will take that pressure off and which will handle everything in your sleep. So your website becomes a 24-hour salesperson. If somebody sends you an inquiry, they don't have to wait for you to get round to your inbox 2 days later. The response will come immediately. You then know that they've made that inquiry, and you know that they're getting a very carefully planned sequence of follow-up emails and contact, which works almost without you. There may be a reminder to you that says, okay, now it's been 5 days since they called, or since they contacted you, you need to call them and talk to them. But that reminder comes in at the right time, and it's not a case of you having to diarize it and be thinking, oh gosh, when was I supposed to talk to them? So that's 5 ways to grow your business profitably and have it meet your lifestyle and financial needs. Let's recap them briefly. The first thing I said was that you need to stand for something. You need to be very clear on what issue it is that you resolve and who it is that you solve it for. The second thing was you need to master the science of personal impact, how you come across in person, what people say about you, and how people feel about you. The third thing is to establish yourself as an authority in your field. The fourth thing is to break the link between time and money, to stop trading your life for income, and you can do that by creating products. And finally, you need to automate and to systematize your practice. If you can do those 5 things, then you are well on your way to creating a life-changing, profitable practice that meets your financial and lifestyle needs. My name is Rob Cuesta. Please visit me at thegrowthpractice.com for more hints and tips. Bye for now.